My Lord, I'm grateful to the Lord Corbett for initiating today's debate. It comes at an opportune time, but also at a time of great danger and hardship for the people of Iran. Over the last 18 months, they've been protesting with increasing fervour inside Iran as they demand freedom and democracy from the mullah's regime. The Iranian regime responds to these protests through arrest, torture and execution. It targets individuals with links to Iran's largest opposition group, the People's Mujahideen of Iran. Most obvious of the mullah's corrupting influence has been the persecution of the 3,400 members of the PMOI in Camp Ashraf in Iraq. The Iranian regime has demanded that Iraqi Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki destroy the camp and disperse the residents so that they can be more easily eliminated. The European Parliament recently adopted a declaration calling on the EU's Foreign Affairs Chief, Baroness Ashton, to urge the United Nations to provide urgent protection for Ashraf residents. It was mentioned in the declaration that relatives of Ashraf residents have been sentenced to death by the Iranian regime after returning from visits to their families in Ashraf. Would the noble Lord the Minister condemn in the strongest possible terms these death sentences? In fact, the noble Lord the Minister should do more. The government should be seeking to send a delegation from this House to Camp Ashraf. He can immediately put me down for a 54-inch body armour, which the MOD couldn't supply me when I wanted to go to Afghanistan. Last summer, Iraqi security forces killed 11 residents in an attack on the camp. More recently, at the Iranian regime's request, their tactics have been to create unbearable living conditions, as already explained. A disgraceful and inhuman example of that persecution was when, on the 10th of November, Iraq prevented the 44-year-old Mrs. Ilham Fardapour from travelling to Baghdad Hospital to undergo treatment for thyroid cancer. How can we possibly justify the suffering and the sacrifice of our nation's sons and daughters in bringing freedom to Iraq when the end result has been the installation of Nouri al-Maliki, who, at the request of Iran's theocratic dictatorship, denies refugees suffering from cancer the right to travel to hospital? Was that what we envisaged in Iraq? I'll conclude by saying this. We in the United Kingdom and our allies should be isolating the regime with comprehensive sanctions over both its unlawful nuclear weapons projects and its appalling human rights abuses. We should not accept that millions in Iran, a majority of, in democratic terms, want to end the mullah's regime. Only then will Khamenei, Ahmadinejad and the rest of the Iranian regime become nothing more than a dark stain on the proud history of the Iranian people.
My Lord,